Well, but it's nice. It's refreshing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll take the cold where I can layer up over 90% humidity, 90 degrees of heat any day of the week. So
Ebisu and Okayama, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah, that was pretty hot. But yeah, absolutely beautiful weather. We're here in shirts. We're fine. We're not sweating. The sky is bright blue. It's bright mountain sky, blue sky, a few little clouds here and there. No pollution because we're out in nature here today, but we're about to make some big white clouds here at Nakuibuki. Disturb the serenity. We're about to start qualifying here for this round. Okuibuki Motor Park street course, because of course this course is usually used as an access road for the ski resort. And just to prove how much of a ski resort it is, it's got all those catwalk things everywhere for people to walk in the snow, and also right at the top of the car park there is have you gone up the motorized conveyor belt yet to the top?
When we were here the first time, but it didn't seem like it was running this time around.
Oh, it's running right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I haven't done that this time, but last time we did, it was quite fun.
Yeah, there's the conveyor belt to take you up to the ski lift, which is just up the hill. So yes, very mountainous course here today. We can see there the entry to the course. Of course, it is a mountain course. Very steep entry. It might not be quite as obvious as, but you can see there basically. You can see the horizon line and how far down that road bends up to this upper section of the course, the loop. You can see there. There's that's where we are, the judging stand up there in the top right of screen. And there you can see the start line down the bottom of the hill. Down in the start line, of course, we have our regular American safety official Kevin Wells is down there today.
And you can see we've got the chicane in effect. Even with the uphill, we've got the chicane, which we will utilize for tandem competition tomorrow. Much narrower run-up, or rather the width of the lane is much narrower than we usually see here, so it's a much tighter approach. And the way that this course has been set up is most of the staging will be done down in the area that you see there. We've got our standard burnout box, and then the drivers will come to the line and they'll start their runs. And we've seen a couple guys this last practice session and yesterday start getting into some tandem here, and it seems like it's going to be a really, really fun tandem course, especially with the way that they accelerate uphill, or rather the lack of the way that they accelerate uphill, as you said, favoring certain types of vehicles, potentially the lighter, faster cars, maybe give the guys that are a little bit underpowered, an option to not be able to be run away from, or rather they may be doing a little bit of running away.
Yeah, like you said, it is. It does look like it's going to be a really good course for close tandem. As we get into the competition too, we will start to explain the various judging criteria. The course it's actually very well laid out, very easy to understand this time for the drivers and also for the spectators. We have outer zones, inner zones, clipping points, very well laid out. And like we said, not a high-speed track this time, but favouring very much close tandem driving. There is quite a lot of speeding up and slowing down on this course. A lot of changes in speed, which is really going to separate out the guys who can tandem well and the ones who can't, especially people who can follow well from behind. It's going to favour those people greatly. Of course, we have our judges here today. Ryan Lantane, our style judge, Andy Yen, our angle judge, and we have Robbie Nishida as our guest line judge. So they're up here with us. Of course, we do have the Japanese version of us over on the other side, Mr. Cyber, and also Max Orido, former D1 Grand Prix, sorry, I shouldn't say that, former drift driver and current GT driver.
It doesn't bother me.
Okay. Anyway, so we got a lot of experience up here on the stand, ready to bring you the final round of this year's Formula Drift Japan series. Some of these guys out here today, obviously battling for the championship. Other guys out here, there's actually one guy out here today, it's his first time ever entering this series. But as we get to those guys, we'll sort of talk about them as they come up, give you some background information, so you have a bit more to think about and understand what's going on. All right, we are about to begin qualifying. Here we go. So our first driver coming out now, Alvaro Tsukasa Nagata. That's you might think that's a bit of an odd name, but He's one of the many Brazilian Japanese who live in this area. Okay, here he comes, first corner. Outer zone there. So there's an inner clip there. Now a very, very long outer clipping zone on the outer part of the course, out towards the wall. Another outer clipping zone there. And then back around the course, inner clipping zone there, and back out again to the end of the course. As you can see, not too long a course, but there you go. There's your first taste of what this course looks like in this event.
Let's take a look at it again here with Nagata off the line here. You can see going uphill. And as he initiates here, there's a 3-2-1 cone. Most guys are doing it by the 2. This is the start of the outer zone there. There's the finish. You can just see the cones. There's an inside clip here. He's nice and tight. Now there's an outer zone that starts against that wall that was just out of your purview there. That white cone designates the end of the outer zone, and then those 2 standing cones on the wall there are another outer zone. And then finally this last inside clip going downhill. So you've got an outer zone, an inside clip, 2 outer zones on the top, and then 1 inside clip to finish up. And so for Nagata, a good first pull there, and we'll see where he lands up with his run number 1.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad run. Of course, we had a bit of practice on, I believe, Thursday, and then about a 4-hour session of practice yesterday. And everybody's getting better and better on every single run. And sort of by about mid-morning this morning, we sort of saw the average of what sort of run we should expect to see. So the judges have been up here that whole time watching everything, so they have a good idea of what people have been able to do so far and what the average sort of drifting is. And I think that run there from Nagata was fairly sort of, I guess, middle of the road, I guess you could say. So there you go, a score of 63 there for Alvaro Tsukasa Nagata in his gold-coloured S15 Sylvia. Okay, so we're about to begin our second driver now. Yasuo Takano now. This is one of these guys I just mentioned. It's his very first time running in this competition. Very experienced driver, but he thought he'd give Formula D a try. All right, here he comes on his first run. Initiates nice and early, but maybe not enough speed. Slows down a lot and straightens up. So that's not going to be a great result. Again, through the outer clipping zone. We've seen this quite a lot so far, where a lot of these guys sort of underestimate the amount of speed they need to... whoa, and... So,
that was our first foam hit.
First foam hit. One of first of many, I'm sure.
Now, those foam blocks, little story, those foam blocks cost about $200 US.
Right.
And they're very similar to kind of like the memory foam style stuff. And, and Mr. Wada said you could actually get them on the internet delivered to your house. And I was thinking it might be pretty fun to have a few of those in my house. Anyways, here you go. You see Takano struggling right there. We did see him, as you said, initiate very early at that the first standing cone, which is the 3 standing cones coming up the hill here. Just not enough momentum. The judges did score this a 0, and then right there you can see just getting a bit too aggressive, and luckily those foam blocks are there to protect him from the wall. He'll go back and have one more shot, Alexi.
Yeah, this course, I mean, you might look at it and think, oh, it's just a car park course. That's pretty simple. It's not. The entry coming up the hill, like you wash off a lot of speed as you come up that steep hill. And again, like we just saw there with Takano, as he went around the inner clip to go downhill, it suddenly drops down, which probably added a whole lot of speed to him all of a sudden, and he spun out. So not the easiest of courses. So a 0 there for Takano in his first run, unfortunately for him. But he still does have one more run to put down a score. So this course, I guess it is a street course. It will favour the guys who are used to this sort of layout. Dare I say, people who have previous experience in this style of course. There are quite a few here. Right, here we go. Next run. Kazuya Matsukawa in the Toyota 86. So this is the sort of more closer to the sort of entry you want to see. Inner clip there, flicking it back nice and early to the outer zone. Maybe not quite as deep as the judges might like to see. Again, outer, nice and wide, and then sort of missing the in clip as well. So that run there from Matsukawa, almost pretty good. but a little bit too far off all the clipping zones. We have seen a lot of people so far get it really good, so that's not as good as what we've seen so far in
Well,
practice.
another driver with an early initiation here. You can see right there's that third standing cone. That's the beginning of the outer zone, and then right there you can see he's way off the second cone, so he was not able to fill that. Much better on that inside clip, and then right here just not up against the wall, a little bit shallow, so he'll get some line deductions there. And right here on this second outer zone, most drivers are going to be coming through there with light angle, so the judges aren't really expecting big angle there because they really need to link that down to the last inside clip. So we'll probably see some deductions online, but overall a good first pull for Matsukawa, and we'll see where that lines him up in the top 32.
Yeah, and it was a clean run. It was nice and fast, but just not quite ticking all the boxes. Yeah, so the outer zones, I mean, considering how short the track is, the outer zones that we've put up here at this track are quite long. So the judges are expecting an extremely high level of controlled drifting to get through this course. So we're going to be going to our next driver as soon as we get a score there for Matsukawa. So this track, yeah, we do have, there's quite a lot of varied spectating positions. You can see that on the sort of the middle left of screen is the main grandstand area. But a lot of spectators are eschewing that and sort of standing around in different parts of the course to get a different sort of view. And you can get really close. I mean, the spectators there who have a score, a 64 there for Matsukawa. So once again, a fairly average score there for him. But of course, he does have one more run to go. So one of the good things about this course is you can get quite close to the action. Okay, starting our next driver now, Mitsuru Yoshioka in the Yes exclamation mark Power JZX100 Chaser. Yes Power. Great name for a team. Okay, here he comes up the course, up the hill. It's a hill climb at this point. And initiating at the second cone, understeering heavily in the first outer zone. He has to do his best to salvage the rest of this run. Straightening again on the outer clip there on that wall. Something about the front of the car seems to have some sort of weird sort of alignment grip issues going on there. It didn't seem to react to his control at all.
Well, as you said, a little bit of control issues here on initiation from Yoshioka. You can see right here, he throws it in, big angle, but then not able to hold it all the way through. Big understeer there, and then trying to make ground. I have to imagine that this is going to be a 0 here from the judges, but we'll wait for confirmation on that. And then a little bit of insult injury right there. Looks like he made a little bit of contact on that outer wall and straightened out one more time. So another run for him he will have, but the run number 1 not really working out too well.
And a 0 there, unfortunately, for Mitsuru Yoshioka in the JZX100 Chaser. So you can see this this particular course, not that easy. It's you can't take advantage of the momentum from the first corner. It really, you've noticed it so far. A lot of the cars really wash off power very quickly. So it's not only the control of your car you have to worry about, it's the course itself controlling your car for you and slowing you down. So we're going out to our next driver now. Hideki Kozama. Kozama in the E34, sorry, ER34 Skyline 4-door, very street style. Very early entry there from him, and seems determined to take out every clipping point and cone on the track. Right, second half of the track, not too bad. Got to dodge that cone there on the track. So a very aggressive run there from Kozama.
Yeah, very aggressive on initiation, and he's going to make that probably the biggest mistake of the run right after initiation. You can see a little bit of counter steer there, gets right in, big angle, takes out that number 2 initiation cone, and then right there has a big mistake, has to straighten out, hits that inside clip. Now he's just trying to hold it together, but as you said, the second part of the run, not too bad considering what happened on the first half, but We'll have to see how lenient the judges are going to be on this. I don't think that they are. But nonetheless, it would be a very, very low score, so he'll be hoping for better luck on run number 2.
Yeah, so again, another 0 there for Kazama. Wow, that's 3 zeros we've seen so far in only 5 drivers. So on average, we're getting more zeros than scores. So that just shows this course is not as easy as it might look. That's an understeering issue that some of the guys are having in that first corner. Yeah, but you know, we are at the beginning of the qualifying field, so as it gets up in the points, we should be seeing better and better driving. So that was a 0 there for Kazama. So next driver now, Akihiko Hirashima. Hirashima D-Friends, S15 Sylvia. Winding out the engine all the way to red line. That's a bit better, that entry there. Okay, he's doing really well so far, keeping it in the clips. Nice outer all the way to the outer zone. Oh, just missing it out towards the end of the wall. Getting that clip there. Nice and wide there now. Straightening up down the hill. Power down. Speed up. Okay, that's a bit more like the sort of drifting we'd like to see on this track here. That entry wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, a much better start for Hiroshima here on run number 1. Pretty aggressive and great throttle control coming down the hill on his way back down. You can see right there, right up against the wall and that outer zone. So great job there. He leaves the bridge just about a foot off that inside clip, but you can see he gets really tight on that outer zone, and he's just a little bit off as he leaves the outer zone here. Keeps the angle in on that second outer zone. Now wrapping back around, he's full throttle right here and then gets off it right as he crossed the finish line. So probably our best run that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
And starting off with a good bang for his run number 1.
Okay, we can see, I love these camera angles we're getting. It does, it really enhances that sort of street course feel. So score there, 74. Our best score so far, Akihiko Hirashima, a 74. So our best score so far. You can see a good score there from the line judge, 26. All right, next driver now, Tetsuya Iha. And an Aristo, not the most common drift car in Japan. I believe used a bit more overseas, so any Aristo fans, he's your guy. A bit slow on the entry, but looking a little bit cautious on the entry. Taking a fairly middle line here. Let's see if he can get it out into the outer clipping zone. Just getting into it towards the end, out towards the wall. Getting hard in the accelerator, keeping good angle and good speed through the second half of the course, and then accelerates down the hill. This course.
So scored run here for Iha in his first attempt here. You're going to see he's going to initiate right around that 3 cone. He's going to get into the zone at the beginning, but he's going to leave it a bit early here. Right there is where the end of that zone ends. Nice and tight up on the inside clip. Now he's going to miss the first part of this outer zone, but get into the second part there. You can see the cone right up against the wall here, trying to keep the angle, throttling all the way down, and then just a tiny bit long on that last inside clip, but he'll get a scored run for run number 1 and hopefully make his way into the top 32 tomorrow.
That wasn't a bad run. But you know, it gives you an idea of in the direction we're going with this sort of driving. Okay, score of 66 there for Iha on his first run, so he's got a good base there to go on. Yeah, you can see there. I was going to say there is a fairly scary concrete wall on the outer side of the course as you go down the hill, which everyone doesn't want to hit. Okay, our next driver here, Kojiro Mekuwa, S15 Sylvia. Very street style car. Here he comes. Nice early entry, keeping his speed all the way out to the edge. Just tagging the outer clip zone. Looking really good here so far for Mekuwa. Good timing out to the outer clipping zone, keeping it on the edge of the track. Another outer clipping zone, nice and wide, winds on the angle, powers down the hill. Okay, really good run there from Mekuwa. That's probably the best we've seen so far, but I know that we'll see what the judges have to say, but that was the most exciting run to me so far.
So seeing some progression here as we move down the order of our top 32 drivers. Mekuwa, our next one up, starting off pretty solid here. You can see aggressive initiation, rolls right into that outer zone, now stays nice and deep. You can see he filled that zone completely. Nice and tight on that inside clip, just pushes it aside. You can tell he's up the wall there, tries to reach out deep here to that second outer zone. Now here's the third, a little light on the angle, but he's able to keep The tires just at angle enough to get through there with good speed and momentum to carry it down the hill, so a solid first run for Mekua.
Yeah, it's the trick of this.
I'm going to go 74. I think it's going to be tied. I'm
Is
going
it?
to do the guessing game. I'm starting to see the trends
Oh,
develop
okay.
here.
Okay.
Oh,
76. Pretty close.
pretty close.
It's the trick of this course. It seems to be a balance of. I mean, it is a narrow street style course, which means it's not. You don't really get the biggest sort of angle on street courses. But of course, the trick is to make it look like you're getting a lot of angle, and at the same time keeping your speed up, because it is quite important to keep your speed up for the entire track. Okay, next driver now. Daisuke Nakamura, S15 Sylvia, taking out one of the second entry cone. Good in clip. Just getting down to the outside zone. Okay, a little bit wide towards the wall. He's going to have to straighten up a little bit. Manages to keep his speed up. Just taps the brakes to bring the rear of the car around. Powers down the hill. Banging it off the rev limiter going down the hill. Not a bad run there for Daisuke Nakamura.
Well, and from this vantage point, you can really get a good look at where some of the mistakes are here. You can see he's going to initiate right into the first outer zone, but he's going to leave it very early here. He's going to be on a tight line on the inside.
That's
so
not good.
Definitely going to get some point deductions there. Now watch this. He's going to grab that second outer zone, but he's going to kind of drive off the line and not fill it completely.
Yeah.
As you said, he shallowed up a little bit there, trying to keep angle coming down the hill, and then right there just passing through that last inside clip. So a couple little mistakes there, but again, another scored run, and he'll have one more to improve later on in the day.
Yeah, with the course this short and narrow, any sort of mistake really compounds on you if you don't get the entry right. You might be watching this and thinking, well, don't the judges want a narrow like inline on the first corner as they head up to the left? Well, actually, they do want a fairly wide line, and that actually is the best line to take because, okay, here we go. Score of 67 there for Nakamura. So the reason why you want to take a wide line on the first corner is because it sets you up for the rest of the course. It allows you to build up your speed and keep your speed, which is why we haven't seen a lot of people so far get really deep into the outer clipping zone on the far side of the course, the big, long, sweeping right-hand corner. But I'm sure we're going to see guys doing that as we move down the qualifying list. Okay, here comes our next driver, Taichi Hisano, Team RSR, S15 Sylvia. He'll be our next driver. Just waiting for one of the guys to come out of the pits. Of course, it's quite funny as we coming into the ski field this morning. The access road to this whole complex is actually the drifting course. So as you drive up the hill, you drive through the burnout box, through the start line, then up into the staff parking area. Okay, here we go. Next driver now, Taichi Hisano, S15 Sylvia. Bit of his speed, really wide angle there. Huge angle,
boy.
It's going to be too much. He's got to keep the power in. Whoa, messy, but he's managing to salvage it best he can. Actually, that's the best outer line we've seen there so far today. Taichi Hisano. I mean, we're getting there. We saw he did a really big manji entry there, which allowed him to get big angle, but yeah, kind of lost it.
Well, Hisano has the right idea here. He's going to have a little bit of a later initiation. Now, the momentum is going to carry him up just a little bit too hard. He's going to hit that last standing cone right there for the end of outer zone number 1. And that's going to get him a little bit out of whack. But I think if he gets his timing just a little bit better, he'll be able to flow through the course much more efficiently. As you can see, he wraps up the run here. He's able to kind of pull it back together now, compose himself nice and tight on that last inside clip. So just a little bit of a mistake on initiation, but I think as a driver, he's got the right idea in mind. You want to stay aggressive and attack that first outer zone. Yeah. Set yourself up, like you said, for the remainder of the course so you can lock in, smoothly go through it, and control your throttle so you can hit all the points that the judges are looking for.
So a score there of 65 there for Taichi Hisano. So yeah, a few little mistakes. Of course, his line was quite good, but yeah, losing his angle a little bit and not quite as cool as it could have been. All right, here comes our next driver now. Car number 2, Kenji Yamada, otherwise known as Jamaken. I don't know why that's his nickname, but it is.
What is it?
Jamaken. I don't know why. I'll have to ask. I've never asked anybody why. Just everyone calls him Jamaken. All right, next driver, Jamaken. Also a local driver from Kansai. Okay, here he comes. Nice. Okay, we're starting to see the speed we want here. Okay, all the way out.
Nice.
Here we go. This is it. This is the sort of thing we want to see. See, set up for the next clipping point. Nice, smooth all the way out to the outer clipping zone. Here's the sort of run we want to see. This is it. Keeping his speed up. Nice wide line there. Down the hill, keeping his speed all the way up. Great run there for Jamakan in the S15 Sylvia. That's the sort of thing we were talking about. That's the thing we want to see.
Well, he was certainly very impressive in practice yesterday and today, and you can see that he's very confident on this course. A lot of speed up the hill, gets the timing right, and he's going to be perfect in outer zone number 1. Stays wide here, wraps back around, nice and tight on that inside clip. Good movement towards the outer zone there. You can see he's locked in on that line, leaves it at the right time. And as we approach that second outer zone, he's going to pass through it there with moderate angle, doing a good job there to keep his speed up and a solid finish to close it out.
I think maybe it might be a little bit obvious who is the experienced non-circuit drivers here today. I think that sort of experience is going to show guys who are used to this sort of layout. Tracks that aren't flat, tracks that have sort of weird lines to them, tracks that weren't designed by a track designer, that were designed by an engineer. Score of 84 there. Our best score so far for Jamakan. Great looking car too, great paint job. He hasn't gone for the more modern sort of, wrap style of design. It's just, it's all glitter paint there. All right, next driver now, Kei Takanohashi. Short first name, long second name. What's his entry going to be like, long or short? Okay, long entry here. Washing off a little bit of speed. Not too bad there in the entry. Setting himself up. Takes out the clipping marker all the way out deep into the outer zone there. Okay, this second half of the course is looking really good. Maybe a little bit too slow, but keeping his angle up nice and high. Powering down out to the end of the course. So maybe not as good as the run we just saw, but still very good there for Kei Takanohashi.
Well, you can certainly see the difficult level going up the hill is filling that first outer zone. You can see a little bit of hesitation on initiation there. He's going to fall off that first or the latter section of outer zone 1, take out this inside clip, and right here he's going to angle up pretty good. He's going to slow down quite a bit, and he's going to get back on the throttle here, try to reach out to this third outer zone. Much better job going downhill here, and then you can see pretty decent on that last inside clip. So a little bit of a flub on the first outer zone, not being able to fill it, and then slowing up towards the end of the second outer zone, but a good completion towards the end there, and he'll get a score for run number 1.
And a score there of 72 for Kei Takanohashi. Just got to say again, I love these camera angles we're getting. They look so good, especially the lower ones we're getting of the entry and also the outer zone. Speed, line, and angle. That's what we're looking for here. Also style. Here comes our next driver, Yoshinori Shinozaki. Shino-chan, the big JSX 100.
Oh boy.
Very, very deep. Maybe a little bit, maybe not getting his run quite as wide as the judges might like to see. Whoa, just barely missing that wall there.
Heading for the stream.
He was literally like 6 inches away from the edge of that bridge there at the back of his car.
Well, let's take a look at Shinozaki one more time here. You're going to see he's going to get very aggressive on initiation and really not modulate his speed properly here and nearly go into the rock wall. You can see right there, if he would have put a little bit more angle in the car at the beginning, he might have been able to get the timing just a bit more accurate. Now he's going to miss this second outer zone here by quite a bit, just staying on that mid line. And as he comes down, he's on the throttle here. He's going to lift for a second there, but right there he nearly tags that K-rail. And one thing to point out, Alexia, as you know, a lot of the barriers around this track are all temporary. They were set up specifically for this so nobody goes flying off into the stream. But nonetheless, they are things that drivers need to be aware of, because contact with rock or wall or K-rail can have some severe damage to the vehicle, especially going back down the hill or coming up the hill on initiation.
So this is real Japanese toge style stuff here. So score there 70, Yoshinori Shinozaki, so not too bad. I think you can see there, his line, that when he screwed up on that entry, that might have cost him a fair bit. Yeah, it's as the light sort of changes here, and it might be a bit clearer. You can see that on the first corner. I mean, the outer area of that first corner is basically just huge rocks covered in shrubs. So yeah, if you this is the closest we've had to a street-style course here, and the fact it's on a hill too just makes it even all that more authentic. Okay, next driver now, Iko Saito, JZX 100 again, another red one. A little bit wobbly in his line there, but not too bad there. Okay, good. Clipped there. Outer zone, getting all the way, just kissing the end of the outer zone, all the way to the edge of the wall, keeping good angle here. The tap of the brakes to bring the back of the car around and powering down the hill. So this is pretty much what we should expect to see on average. I think that run there by Iko Saito. Not too bad, a few little mistakes, but still fairly good overall.
Well, you can see there, leaving the chicane, heading up the hill. You can see the car shifting as he gets into initiation here, right at that third standing cone. Throw some good angle into the car. Decent job on outer zone 1. Could have been a little bit deeper here. Nice job on inside clip, just about 6 inches off here. Another decent job there on outer zone number 2, trying to keep the angle in the car, modulate the throttle control all the way through this last inside clip here. And so a pretty good start, run number 1 for Iko Saito.
Oh man, I can't wait to see some tandems done in anger on this particular layout. It's going to look great. Okay, score there, 74 for Iko Saito. Okay, so
trick or treat.
We've gone about halfway through our qualifying right now. We're going to head to a commercial break. We'll be away for about 4 minutes. We'll be back with you very shortly here at Okuibuki for Formula Drift Japan. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. We are here in Japan. Where the heck are we? This doesn't look like a racetrack. Well, it is. It is today. Okuibuki Motor Park, as it's known today. Normally, Okuibuki ski and snowboard resort. Yes, indeed, we are at a ski field here today. Not at the field. You can see the ski fields in the background, but we're actually down in the car park today. If you're just joining us now, welcome. My name is Alexi Smith. I'm here with Ryan Sage from Formula Drift in the USA. We're here today for the final round of the 2016 series of Formula Drift Japan. And as you can see, the Suzuki gently blowing there in the mountain breeze. It's getting towards the end of summer.
What is that called?
I forgot now.
You said Suzuki.
Suzuki, I think it's called. Those things that are blowing there. Hang on. Robbie, is it Suzuki? Those things, that blow in the breeze. Where is there? Suzuki, Sasaki. I don't know. Robbie doesn't. He's Japanese and doesn't know. I don't know. I think it's Suzuki. It's like an autumn thing, like in Japan and Korea and the countries around here. It's a symbol of autumn.
Ah,
yeah.
Very good.
I'll have to look at it. I'll get it right. So that's where we are. You can see we're up on our. It looks like we're like a castle with these the rock wall below us. Suzuki. There you go. I was right. I thought I got it wrong. Not Suzuki like the motorcycle. It's like Suzuki. Those sort of weed things. Well, they're not weeds, but they look like it. I don't know. Anyway. Let's get more professional. We are here today. You can see that's one of the places to view from. This is it's a very big sort of stadium sort of layout we have here today. The course itself, if you're only just joining us now, it's like an access road that leads up to a car park. Now you might be thinking, oh come on, Formula Drift Japan, get your stuff together. You have so many tracks over there to use. Well, looking at the drifting we've seen so far today, this is not an easy course to drive. And that's not in a bad way, in a good way. It has a big, long entry that goes uphill that you have to throw the car into with a lot of speed, a lot of angle. The car slows down fairly quick because it's uphill. And then just past the edge of the clipping zone is a rock wall, like literally a rock wall covered in shrubs, which it already has about 2 or 3 I can see from here, big scrape marks on it from people going into there. I think our competitors, Shenyang stoved in the rear of his car there. Also, we saw, I think it was actually the second practice run of this morning. I think it was Hayashi put the back of his S15 into there as well. And it leads into a car park area, which has a lot of clipping points, clipping zones that people have to deal with, and then back down the hill. So maybe suiting the drivers who are more Toge style, of which there are quite a few here today. Let's not name names, but the results will probably speak for themselves. We're about to begin the second round of qualifying. We've had all drivers go through their first run. We're about to start our second run. Let's see, we had about 4 or 5 zeros in that first run. This course, not easier. Usually those zeros either on the entry from straightening up or straightening up around the final part of the course. Our current points ranking. Actually, we're about to begin. Our first driver, Alvaro Tsukasa Nagata. Okay, looking a bit better than his first run, and a spin from him there. I think maybe Nagata looking at all the runs that came after him and thought, we'll have to go in there a bit faster, and unfortunately a spin there for him, so he has to fall back to his original score of 63.
Yeah, looks like just having a little bit of trouble here after initiation. You can see kind of a straight line approach, and then right here, put some angle into the car, but does not modulate it appropriately. Comes to a stop, like you said, he'll hold on to that 63. Meanwhile, our current leaders right now, our top 3 drivers are Andrew Gray, Kazuki Hayashi, and Kazuya Taguchi in 91, 87, and 85 respectively. So those are your top 3 scores right now as we enter our second run with these drivers in this field here trying to qualify for tomorrow's top 32 competition.
Yeah, and those guys are fairly up in the top 6 or 7 or so in the points ranking so far. 4th place, Kenji Yamanaka. Okay, here comes our second run now for Yasuo Takano. He's getting a 0 in his first run, so he just has to do his best on this run. Fairly shallow there on the outer clipping zone. He has to get a bit more aggressive if he's going to make it through. Very narrow line there, very middle of the road line there for Takano. Not the best run there, but definitely better than the 0 he got in his first run, but his line, not that great.
Yeah, certainly could improve here in a number of different areas, but I think at this point, just trying to get through this section of the competition without a 0, without holding on to that 0. It looks like he will do that. You can see very much off that second outer zone, slows up for a second here, tries to find the right line, is just a bit shallow here through the remainder of the course, wraps around that last inside clip. So he will definitely better the 0. I think it's probably going to be somewhere in the 60s.
Yeah.
But he's happy that he got rid of that first run.
Yeah, this is actually Takano's first time ever entering a Formula Drift event. He does compete in other events that are in Japan as well. So there, he called it a 64 there for Takano. Yeah, he just thought he'd give Formula Drift in Japan a try and see how it felt to drive. He only turned up this morning as well. He said he had to work late last night, so he said he's a bit lacking in sleep. So still luckily for him, putting down a score. Okay, here comes our next driver now, Kazuya Matsukawa, the Toyota 86. The 64 in his first run. Nice, early, big angle, huge angle. Okay, keeping his speed. Okay, he's doing well so far. Gets that clip. He's got to go out wide. Not too bad. They're just barely missing that. Outer clipping zone, out towards the wall. Okay, good. Keeping his accelerator down almost all the way for the entire course, the second half of the course. So first run there of 64 for Matsukawa. I'm pretty sure he's going to improve on that.
So you see him out of the gate really fast up to the first initiation, third standing cone. He's going to try to do something very impressive here. Big angle in the car, but just does not time it right. It puts him on an inside line. He is going to hit that inside clip number 1, but falls short here on outer zone number 2. Kind of a midline here as he approaches that third outer zone. Tries to stay to the wall there with keeping moderate angle in the vehicle, enough momentum to carry himself down the hill. So he's looking to better a 64. I'm going to go with a 67.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the best scores we've seen so far have either been from people who did the entire course very cleanly and nicely. Oh, there we go, score of 70 there, so an improvement from Matsukawa over his 64, moving up to a 70. So either guys who have, I mean, the best scores we've seen are guys who have completed the entire course with good line, good clips, and also a good amount of aggression. The guys we've seen putting down a lot of aggression have sort of scored well in the style, but usually they sort of fail in line because they sort of can't string the aggressive entries together with the keeping the line and the speed up for the rest of the course. So if someone can do both of those, they're going to get a really good score. Okay, next driver now. Yoshioka, yes, power, JZX 100. Understeer, understeer, understeer. Oh dear, oh, he had a 0 on his first run, and I get the horrible feeling he's going to get the same score for this run again. So there, same thing happened on his first run. Big understeer. You'd see the car sort of understeering there. I'm not really sure why. I don't think that car is quite set up for this particular course.
Yeah, I think that he crossed the threshold here of kind of an opposite drift, big understeer type move. You'll see on initiation here, he's going to lock it up, and then right there from our angle and from the original angle, you can see his wheels were going in the opposite direction that they should have been. So I have a feeling that this is going to go unscored here, and I believe that is confirmed.
Oh, he's getting it. It's a shame for him. So unfortunately for Kazuya Matsukawa, I'm sorry, Yoshioka got that wrong. Yoshioka, big duck egg for him, a 0. So a double 0. It's literally the worst result you can get for this event. So dropping off there, Mitsuru Yoshioka. We have seen quite a few people. That seems to be the part of the course that most people have the biggest mistakes on, that hairpin. Of course, they do have to drive through it twice, which I guess doubles their chances of messing up there. So unfortunately for him, speaking of zeros, this next driver, Hideki Kozama, coming up right now, scoring a 0 in his first run. Very street style looking ER34 four-door Skyline. And I think we're riding a lot of zeros here so far. Yoshioka, well, he still has a chance to, Kozama still has a chance to complete the rest of the course. I think that's going to be the end of the day for him as well, the end of the event. What a shame. But of course, that was it was a spin. There's not much you can argue with about there.
Yeah, not much to say about run at number 2. Unfortunately, the guys that got 0s in run number 1, 2 out of the 3 of them have unscored on run number 2, so they will be out of competition here. As you see, Kozama finishing up the remainder of his run, but unfortunately committing too much of an egregious error here to move forward in competition with the scored run.
It's a bit of a shame there, but so he's heading back to the pits. And we have there 0 for Kozama in the ER34 Skyline. It's good to see a four-door Skyline out there to add a bit of flavour to all the four-door Toyotas that we have here. All right, next driver now, Akihiko Hirashima. D-Friends, S15 Sylvia. All right, building up speed. All right, not as fast as an entry as we've seen so far, but yeah, nice. Filling the outer clipping zone. Okay, so he's obviously going for a nice conservative run here. Outer zone there, keeping his angle, not wobbling around too much there out towards the wall. Okay, so obviously taking a conservative approach on this run. His first run, a 74. I don't know if it'll improve on that, but still, a nice neat run there for Hiroshima.
Well, Hiroshima is on the upper side of the pack here, above average at a 74, as you said. You can see struggling there a little bit. I mean, that is one of the hardest sections of the course, getting that timing right to outer zone 1. And outer zone 1 really does set you up, at least in terms of line. Pretty much what you want to do is hit that outer zone number 1, try to go deep as you can, and then nice and tight on that inside clip, and it really just gives you a really fluid line all the way through. So sitting on that 74, looking to better that. I think you're right. It's going to be in that ballpark generally. We'll see if he can move up in the grid here. Here we go.
Here we go, 72. So yeah, So fairly consistent with his previous score. Maybe a slightly more conservative on that second run than his first run, but still sitting on a 74. That's not a bad score. We do have quite a few 60s in there as well, so he should be around about middle of the pack. Okay, next driver now, car 59, Tetsuya Iha. JZS 160 Aristo. So down the Aristo here today, powered by big 2JZ. So building up speed as he comes up the hill and entering exactly in front of the second clip pylon markers, taking out the inner clip. Okay, he's got to get it out. He doesn't have enough momentum to keep the car going to the outer clipping zone. Out towards the wall. Fairly shallow angle throughout the entire course, winding it off very early, so a little bit timid on that run. Looked like he didn't quite know exactly what he needed to do, just sort of driving on instinct rather than on aggression there.
So second cone initiation here for Iha. You can see it's a very moderate approach right here, not very quick rate to angle on initiation. Little tap right there. You can see doesn't really get deep into that second outer zone. He's on a middle line here. Scoots out towards that third outer zone, puts the throttle on, wrapping around this last and final turn here. And through the finish line is Tetsuya Iha sitting on a 66 on run number 1, looking to better that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if it will improve on that or not, but we'll see what the judges have to say. So you can just see him there returning to the pit. So yeah, lucky for these guys, it is very easy for them to get back to their pit areas at this particular venue. It's a very compact venue, very easy to see the whole thing. So 63, so not quite as good as his first one, a 66. So Tetsuya Iha will be going into the final qualifying score with a score of 66. So we've seen a couple of these so far. Not getting as good a score. We had 2 double zeros. So our next driver coming up now, Kojiro Mekua. Mekua in the S15 Silvia. So building up speed. Okay, taking a nice wide line, initiating on the second initiation marker. Okay, this is the sort of line we're talking about. Nice and wide. Slowing down a bit, losing a lot of momentum. He's got to get on the accelerator really hard to keep it going. Managing to do that. Of course, the judges are quite aware of what happened just there, but he still managed to keep it looking nice and smooth. So just sort of scrabbling just at the edge of grip and momentum there. Not super aggressive, but still managing to pull it off fairly well.
So Mekua, run number 2, sitting on a 76. You'll see he comes up the hill here. Into initiation, throw some angle in the car. Decent job on outer zone 1. He could have got a little bit deeper there on that ladder section. Takes out an inside clip, nice and tight right there at the beginning. And then right here you can see he's going to have to slow up. He makes that mistake. He doesn't draw a smooth arc in his line all the way around to that third outer zone. Then finally back down the hill, past that inside clip. Not sure if it'll better the 76 with that mistake, but it'll certainly be in the ballpark here for Mekua.
I just got to say, I love that camera angle we have there on the entry. It's very sort of street style looking entry, especially with the background we've got here. So a score of 68. So like what we've seen on the previous 2 runs of our previous competitors, not improving on his first run score, unfortunately. So next driver now, Daisuke Nakamura. Nakamura, another S15 Silvia. About to head out on his second qualifying run. Sitting on a score of 67 on his first run. Okay, here he comes. So you can see the as they come up the hill, initiating second initiation marker. Okay, nice. Okay, keeping it nice and wide. Okay, this is looking like a good run so far. If he can keep his speed up, keep it nice and fluid, not getting out all the way out to the edge of the track. Stalling up a little bit there. The car bogging down a little bit. You can see almost no smoke coming out the back. It looked like he was trying a bit too hard to try and keep his momentum up rather than drive the car through the course with his power. He's just sort of tried to skate through.
Yeah, definitely better on the first half than the second half. We usually see a lot of smoke generated leaving outer zone number 2 down to inside clip number 2, but we didn't see that from him here. Okay job on that first outer zone. Nice and tight on that inside clip. Now he's going to draw mid-line here and then he's going to have a tough time scooting out to that outer zone. Usually we see a big plume of smoke developing right there. We just didn't see it. He was kind of flowing through the motions.
Yeah.
And he is sitting currently right now on a 67, so looking to move up the ladder here. We'll see if he does that after run number 2.
I'm not sure if that would be better than a 67.
It's going to be a 61.
We're betting, are we? 63. Disclaimer, we are not judges, we are merely the... 66, okay. But still not improving on his score, so this is a pattern we're seeing so far. His first run, a 67, and then a 66 on that run. But yeah, it was missing a bit of impact on that particular run. It wasn't exciting. Lucky for us, though, we have, as we move down the order here, we are seeing guys who are excited. We've seen quite a few exciting runs on our first run as well. So I can't wait to see these guys. Okay, the second run here now for Teichi Hisano. Nice angle there. RSR sponsored S15 Sylvia. Okay, here we go. Okay, off the, not really on the external. Ooh, angle there, sort of coming off angle a bit. Keep it. Whoa, just barely missing that and screwing up his line, stabbing on the brakes there, straightening up. That was a bit of a shame there. He was doing all right. He's doing all right. The first half was great.
Yeah,
as soon as he got into the long outer clipping zone, it just all started to fall apart. He had to get off the accelerator, and then okay, let's watch this replay.
Well, if you remember from run number 1, he had a big trouble. He went for the very fast, aggressive, big angle flick into outer zone number 1, and he just didn't get it right. The second time around, he got it a lot better. Wasn't perfect, but got a lot better. Now, right here, he's going to make a big mistake taking that too wide of a line, and he kind of shuts it down right near the finish line. So we'll have to see. So you can see big angle here, a good start. If he would have gone on the throttle a little bit earlier, he might have been able to pull that off with a bit more fluidity. Now here he's going to kind of dive in, tight line, struggle to get to that third outer zone, and as he reaches back around, he's going to come in hot right there, has to angle up in the car, and then he straightens out right before the finish line. Now he does have a score of 65, so I believe that should be a scored run or no. So straightening before the finish line? Okay. So confirming it with the judges here that straightening was before the finish line, so he shot.
0. I mean, it was a big understeer there. He, I mean, he was heading for the river. We could see from the other camera angle that he was actually a fair way away from it. He wasn't in too much danger of hitting it, but from this particular angle up here, it was quite understandable why he got off the accelerator for so long and tried to avoid hitting that wall. So unfortunately, a 0 there for him. Okay, next driver now. Kenji Yamada.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Get on it, son.
Get on it. All right. Smoke pouring out the back. Nice wide. Okay, good. Out of the outer zone. Out towards the outer clipping point. Now watch him as he comes down. He flicks the back of the car around and then down the hill. Nice run there for Jamaken.
Well, this is where we saw the increase in scores right about this point.
Yes.
Now, he dropped an 84, which was a solid run. Now, this time he pushes very, very hard. Watch the angle he puts into the car, keeps the momentum up, so great job there. Gets back on the throttle, puts himself on a midline, nice and tight on that inside clip. Good flick back around, drawing a very smooth arc here to that second outer zone, into that third outer zone, and then back around here. I think this is going to beat. I think this is going to beat the 84. He goes a little bit long on that last inside clip. But I love that approach there. Very aggressive. Did a lot of really fun things.
Yeah.
Gets you a little bit elevated. Let me take a look at my my heartbeats real quick. Let's see where we're at.
We have a score of 86 there, so an improvement, definitely an improvement over 84. Kenji Yamada, he was...
see, look at that. We're jumping up. I was at 63. See, that means I'm excited, man.
Wow. Okay, there you go. That's it. You know what? That's what it should be. Get rid of all the judges. Just
heart
put
rate
heart rate monitors, and whoever gets the highest heart rate spike, they get the highest score. That's not a bad idea, to be honest.
Except for if somebody, if somebody makes you pucker and they crash, that would be bad.
Well, that is true. Okay, next driver now, Kei Takanohashi. Right, so looking good so far. He did have a very conservative run on his first run, and he's sort of just barely off all the clips here. Hard on the accelerator there. A little bit late, so just a little bit off all the clips, and maybe his timing of accelerator is just a little bit late. He's sort of driving the course rather than aggressively attacking the course.
So Takanohashi here, run number 2, looking to better a 72, flows into that first outer zone, comes up just a tiny bit short there in the latter section of the outer zone. Right here, wrapping into this second outer zone here, kind of a tighter line, pushing out to that third outer zone. Decent job there, keeping the angle in the car. Good throttle coming down the hill here. That car always reminds me the way he has the lights configured with his graphics. Reminds me a little bit of like a S15 Mustang hybrid.
I can see what you're saying. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so a score of 75 there for Kei Takanohashi. So an improvement on his first run, which was very conservative. He's the kind of guy you'd probably want to have as, if you're a mechanic, you'd probably want to have this guy as your driver. Quite conservative and being fairly kind to the car, but not the highest score we've seen so far. Okay, next driver now, car number 3, Yoshinori Shinozaki. Shino-san. First run score of 70. Had some very good parts, also had some big mistakes. Shinozaki also a regular competitor in Formula Drift Japan in his JZX 100 Mark II. I'm not sure if it still does, but I know that until a little while ago it did actually have street registration on it. All right, here we go. Second run now for Yoshinori Shinozaki. Nice early entry there. And managing to keep his speed up fairly high. That's a good run so far for Shinozaki. Big angle there out. Oh, and a spin! Oh, that's a shame for Shinozaki. So he was keeping his speed up very high. He's keeping his momentum up, doing really well. But unfortunately, just there, he saw he was going really wide. He was about to go off the edge of the course. Maybe backed off or tapped the brakes and spun out.
Well, let's take a look at what happened here at Shinozaki. Much better approach coming into outer zone 1, but you can see the difference between the guys in the 80s and even in the low 90s with Andrew Gray. That approach, very, very fast, take big risks, but are able to pull it off with big angle here. Now, as he transitions into the latter section of outer zone number 2, heading towards outer zone number 3, he just can't hang on to it, spins out, and he will get a 0 there, but he will hold on to a 70 from run number 1.
Yeah, so score there of 70 from his first run will be the score that Yoshinori Shinozaki will be using to determine his qualifying rank. So an unfortunate mistake there. It was looking good on that first half of that run. Okay, next driver now, Saito. Not that Saito, the other one. Iko Saito. Driving the JZX 100 Chaser. So a score of 74 on his first run, so sort of middle of the road there. I'd just like to point out right now how lovely the weather is right now here.
Very lovely.
Oh, it's so nice. It's like a very slight cool breeze. It's sunny. Okay, back to the action. Iko Saito, second run for him. Early entry there, fairly shallow angle, but winding it on. Nice line there, Iko Saito. Okay, this is looking really good so far. If he can get it out into this outer clipping zone, which he's done. Nicely done, smooth. Nice smooth run there, a little bit wide there, but okay. Hard on the accelerator down the hill. Okay, that's it. I'm sure he's giving himself a grin on his helmet there. That was a good run there for Iko Saito.
If you're watching at home and you've been paying attention to the scores here, you can test yourself and see how close your scores are to the judges here. He's sitting on a 74 in run number 1. He's looking to better that. You can see a moderate conservative approach here on outer zone number 1. A little bit short there. Tighter on that first inside clip, but drawing here an arc that is just a little bit late on that first outer zone, feeling it towards the end there. Now coming back down the hill after he leaves outer zone number 3, swooshing past us right there, back on the throttle and through the finish line. So will that better a 74?
I'm not sure if it will. I mean, it was an exciting run, but I mean, as a technical run, he had a lot of mistakes. Like, it wasn't very good from a technical standpoint. He's kind of wobbly, he's kind of off on the accelerator. He wasn't really getting the clipping points that right, if you know what I mean.
Let me look into my crystal ball. It's going to be a 66.
I think it's going to be about there, like a 67, I think. 'Cause it's definitely not going to be a 74. It was an exciting run, but we could see there as he entered there, you could see he got angle, and then he slid with a while and got more angle. What are you, psychic or something? 66.
I am the judge whisperer.
I was only a point off though, so yeah, 60. I said 67. So I scored a 66 for Iko Saito. Okay, we are back. Welcome back to Formula Drift Japan here at Okuibuki. What the heck is Okuibuki? Well, it's a ski resort which we're using as a drift course, a street-style toge course. And we are in qualifying right now. We're at the last half of the second half of qualifying. My name is Alexi Smith. I'm here with Ryan Sage. We are your commentators for today's proceedings. Ryan, what do you reckon of how it's been so far?
You know, the latter half of the lineup certainly has been impressive, you know, with the number of 80s and even a low 90 here. We certainly have seen the scores progress. Unfortunately, we've had quite a few, two double zeros. So we've got 2 guys officially out of competition, but the rest of the guys fighting for it.
Yeah, that's right. And one of those guys is this guy, Kazuto Ichiyanagi, is Zeke. 1via. Nice entry there for Ichiyanagi. Okay, really, really deep. Let's see him continue this line. Okay, good. Big angle into the outer clipping zone, just barely making the end of it out towards the wall. Maybe a bit too much speed going into this part of the course, but just barely managing to hold on to it. Okay, nice aggressive run there for Ichiyanagi. Aggressive being the key word, but was it technically good?
So here we go, Ichiyanagi, run number 2. He had an 80, a solid run on his first one here. You can see mild rate to angle there, but he fills the zone on outer zone number 1. Now smooth into outer zone number 2. Great flick there, but watch the line that he's going to draw. It's going to be kind of an uneven arc here, and he's unable to kind of fill it the way you want to in outer zone 3, but he did keep moderate angle there, but it put him on an interesting line given the momentum and speed that he was carrying, so he did go way past the last inside clip. Not sure if it'll best the 80, but he certainly has one of the higher scores in competition today.
So there's our answer, a score of 76 for Kazuto Ichiyanagi, so not as good as his first run. That seems to be the theme that we've seen so far today. A lot of the guys who on their second runs aren't getting better scores than their first ones. I'm sure that'll change as we go further down the list to our higher ranked drivers. Okay, next driver, Atsushi Taniguchi, JZX 100. The zombie JZX 100. It's survived 2 big crashes so far this season. It's out here today at Okuibuki. Right, here we go. Entering, nice, big flick. Immediately to angle there. Okay, taking in a clip there. Out towards the wall, to the outer clip. Sort of just missing that a little bit there. And straight, almost a straighten there. Almost a straighten for Taguchi there. Oh, that was a bit iffy there. Did you see that? I know I saw that.
Yeah, so I mean, he was in the middle of the pack on run number 1, had a 72. He's going to make quite a few mistakes here. He was one of the drivers that was using a lot of e-brake to kind of slow himself down. And what you'd like to see is put the angle in the car to slow yourself down, get back on the throttle at the right time, draw a very smooth line from inside clip 1 to outer zone 2. And then right here, as he leaves outer zone 2, he's really almost going to bring those tires to 0 degrees for a second there. And then on the final turn here, he almost does it once again. You can see that understeer, but I believe that was past the finish line, so that should be a scored run. And getting the nod, yes.
Yes, okay, good. It didn't, I mean, I wouldn't have, if that was a 0, I would have thought it'd be a bit weird, but he is going to suffer for that understeer there as well. Sitting on a score of 72 in his first run. Taniguchi in the JZX 100. We're just getting the result from the judges here. You can see there, that's our starting area in the background there, the burnout box.
It's going to be a 65.
65? 64.
Oof.
At 64, they're so not as good as his first run there for, you can see their style, not that great. 19, it's fairly low. Okay, next driver, Fukada. Now, Fukada missed his first qualifying run because he broke a tail shaft. And actually, his wife was just up here near the judging stand. I said, is he going out? And she said, he did something or other and he's going to go out. So I'm not sure what she meant by that, but he's out there right now. So this is Fukada's one and only run, and he's going hard. It's all or nothing here for Fukada. Okay, this is actually looking pretty good so far. His line is really good. He was doing pretty good in practice. Actually, this is, from a technical point of view, this is a nice, clean, good run to spec. Maybe not as aggressive as some of the other ones we've seen, but still ticking all the boxes. I know I keep saying that, but it did.
Yeah, certainly quite brave to go out there. I mean, he can look at the lineup. He knows the guys that have double zeros. He just needed to lay down a conservative run here, and he kind of pushed the threshold a little bit, and then you got to really pat him on the back for that, to go out there and try to get the best score possible so he can position himself in the bracket in the best place possible. So decent job here. He's pretty much doing what you need to do to be mid-pack or higher. I think I'm going to go with the 73.
Okay. Well, that'd be a good score for Fukada if he was a 72. Very good. So straight into
Take
a
that,
72.
Eggert. Brian Eggert is at home saying that he wants to judge from the live stream.
So he's watching, is he?
Yeah.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian. Hey, Becky.
And for all the rest of you out there, feel free to judge along with us and see if you agree with the judges and their scores and what they say and what we say. It's all part of it. I honestly do believe that if you try and judge yourself, you come to understand the sport a lot better. Okay, here we go. Next driver, Koichi Yamashita. Team work, team well. JSX 100 Mark II. Okay, good angle there. Got an 81 on his first run, and we can see why. The angle he's putting on is much higher than most of the other cars we've seen so far today. Even though the angle is very big, his speed and line is also quite good. Okay, this is looking really good so far here for Koichi Yamashita, smoking out the course here at Okuibuki. Wow, that was a good run.
Certainly, probably, I would say that one of the more smokier runs that we've seen, especially leaving outer zone number 2, and we saw that a lot in practice, but not so much in qualifying. Good aggressive flick here, pretty much fills the entire outer zone. Nice and tight on that inside clip. Good fluid transition into outer zone 2.
Yeah.
Right there, just a little bit of a hold up for a second, but then pushes out, tries to get wide on that third outer zone, really on the throttle here, but he stays tight on that inside line and is able to hit that inside clip, and then you can just see a big plume of smoke right in front of the camera there. So good run by Yamashita. He was very, very high last time in 81, and I think that that's going to be in the ballpark for him.
Okay, so another score, yeah, 80. That was fairly similar to his first run in the style of it too. I think that's one thing you pointed out there, like rate to angle and things like that. It's really obvious the guys who kind of wobble around on their angle. You know, their angle kind of wobbles when they transition. It's not a smooth transition. On this course, it makes it really obvious, especially on the entry. See guys kind of, they handbrake into it and then all of a sudden get big angle, whereas other guys are going straight to big angle, and that makes a huge difference in the amount of impact it has on the judges. Okay, we're moving on to our next driver now. Sheng Nian, unfortunately, a 0 on his first run. Also in practice, he did put it into the rock wall. So
Come on, buddy.
It's again all or nothing here for Sheng Nian. Okay, not lacking in speed at all for his entry. Okay, good.
There you go.
Okay, it's looking good so far for Sheng Nian. He taking it, clips, looking really good so far. A little bit shallow on this on that zone there, not getting it out wide. Okay, out towards the wall, hard on the accelerator, down the hill. Not too bad there for Sheng Nian. Maybe lacking a bit here and there, but doing very well in other areas.
You know what? That's going to get him into competition, so he did what he needed to do here. Like you said, it's not the most impressive run. He starts off pretty strong there on that first outer zone. Right there on that inside clip, he's going to come through at mild angle here. A little bit twitchy. You can see that damage on the rear end of the vehicle from practice. And his first run was his first qualifying run after that hit. So nice job for him. He's going to make it into tomorrow's competition after the 0 on run number 1.
Okay, so he's back in the pits. Probably very happy with that. 65. Okay, so it's okay. Sheng Nian with a score of 65. That will be good enough to put him into tomorrow's competition. Lucky for him. So that 0 is okay. Okay, so next driver now, Toshimitsu Matsuda. Matsuda Racing Team, the Shark JZX 90 Mark II. With a blower scoop on the hood, it means nothing. It's not attached to anything. Okay, so looking not too bad so far. Setting himself up for the second half of the course here. Fairly slow to angle missing that outer clipping zone. Running not that great. Actually, this run, not so good. His angle a bit choppy, slowing down and speeding up a lot. He's quite out of character for Masuda. Usually when we see him at Formula Drift, he's going insane, but not today.
Well, he had a 67 on his first run, and in his first run, I remember making some, pretty distinct comments about chopping up the course and just really not having the fluidity. I think he does a little bit better of a job here at just keeping the car in more control, but he misses a lot of the key points here. You can see he's way wide on that inside clip, kind of shallow there, and you can see he's twitching the vehicle around. So there's some similarities from run number 1, but I wonder how the judges are going to take a look at it and judge it for run number 2. I think it is going to be a little bit higher than run number 2, but not much.
Yeah, so the first run, a score of 67. So there you go, a little bit higher. Score of 72 there for Toshimitsu Masuda in the Shark JZX 90. So as you said, slight improvement over his first run. It was just a little bit, it wasn't better in any one particular way. It was sort of a little bit better in every way compared to his first run. Okay, next driver now, car number 18. Jin Harino 180SX, otherwise known as the 380SX. VR38 twin turbo V6 out of a Nissan GTR powering this car. It really picks up speed quickly. Early entry there, very early entry, all the way to the edge. Okay, this is good. This is looking good so far for Jin Harino. If he can keep the rest of the course looking as good as that. Okay, outer clip, good. Outer clip, good. Angle, good. And down into the bottom half of the course, over the finish line. Big improvement. Okay, his first run, 75. I'm going to wager that's going to be an improvement there. That was really good there from Jin Harino.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a perfect run, but it's certainly a solid run. And the only thing that was really noticeable in terms of outer zones or inside clips was the last one as he comes down the hill. You can see he does a better than average job on initiation.
Yeah.
Aggressive, stays pretty deep into that zone. Doesn't get fully deep into outer zone 2 at the beginning, but he does get a bit deeper there towards the end. Nice job on outer zone 3. Now he's going to come down the hill with a bit of momentum here and just go a little bit long on that last inside clip. But I think you're right. I think it's going to be in the ballpark of that 75 or perhaps slightly better.
Right, 79. Good improvement over his first score of 75. That aggression paying off for him there. Score of 30 there for the angle judge. So he did have good angle, especially coming out of the outer clipping zone towards the hairpin. Keeping big angle there for the rest of the course. So good score there. 79. Okay, next driver now, Kenji Yamanaka, Tomei Power Top Tool, JZX 100 Mark II. His first score, not bad, a 78. It's still definitely room for improvement. This car has the power to improve on that. Nice early entry there. Okay, good angle here so far. Hopefully this will set him up for the rest of the course. Okay, flick back. You can see Kenji's, and a spin here from Kenji Yamanaka. We've seen quite a few spins in that exact zone so far. Right at the end of the outer clipping zone. People getting nice and deep into it, but as soon as they get off the accelerator, back of the car just spinning around. Unfortunately for him, that's going to be a 0.
Kenji not too happy with that, obviously. But he will hold on to his 78 on run number 1. Let's take a look at what happens here. Starts off okay, nice and tight on that inside clip.
So good.
Flicks back around. He's going to put some angle into the car, and then right there you can see the back end just wash out, and he's unable to hang on to it. So bummer for Kenji on run number 2, but he will be in competition. He'll hold on to that 78.
He got in that the angry burnout at the end too, just to flick the car back around. And a big 0 there for Kenji Yamanaka, but he does have a 78, so he should still get a fairly good qualifying score from that. A little bit of trivia. The paint on Kenji Yamanaka's car and also the paint on Yasuo Takano's car is the exact same paint. It's got that nice purple sort of sheen that comes through pearl, especially in this light. Actually, I pointed that out to Takano. I said, this looks like Kenji's car. He's like, it's the same paint. So, and a similar sticker job on them too. So, next driver now, Kazuya Izuka will be coming up. Team Mori with Final Connection. There he is down on the start line. Kazuya sort of doing okay for the entire season of Formula Drift Japan 2016. His first score, though, was an 80, so quite good. He's making slow but steady progress in the series with his qualifying scores and also results in battles. He's a fairly young guy. He's extremely motivated to make a name for himself in the drifting world. I'm sure, like a lot of these guys, he would like to compete in the USA. I'm sure that's a lot of their dreams. What's that song? Is it "Everything's Good in America"? Whatever. What is that? It's like from a musical. Yeah. West Side Story? Is that it?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were going with Rocky 3.
Oh, is that? Oh, I don't know.
Living in America.
Oh, well, maybe, that could apply as well. I'm sure they see the crowds and the excitement over there. They all want to be a part of that. But in the meantime, we're up in the mountains here in Japan, where it all started. If you want to take that angle up here, Toge-style course. Rock walls, sheer drops, and occasional monkeys and deer, which are a bit of a hazard on the mountain roads in Japan, especially at night.
Which one, deer or monkeys?
Both. Especially in summer, like you come around a corner and there'll be like a family of monkeys just chilling out on the track. On the road. You have to like slam on the brakes and you go, please move, monkeys, I don't want to run you over. Okay, here we go. Nice entry, the big angle for Kazuya Iizuka. Just kissing that marker there. Nice outer zone, the back of the car out into the outer zone, out towards the wall. Flicking it hard. Not very hard on the accelerator, sort of a bit timid on that downhill. Whoa, right out to the edge.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
A little loose there.
A little loose on the outside of that zone there. There's a concrete block that he just barely missed.
So taking a look at Iizuka here, run number 2, you're going to see into initiation, use this angle to slow the car down. Great job there, pretty deep into that first outer zone, nice and tight on that inside clip, just glancing it a little bit, but no point deduction for that. Mid-high line on that on the latter part of that second outer zone, deep into that third outer zone, so a solid approach here as Iizuka throttles through the finish line.
Yeah.
And pretty impressive there. I think that is going to be up there quite a bit for his second run. As we take a look at it again, one more time, you can see from that angle, using the angle to slow the car down, but staying on the right line, and then using the throttle in all the right places to get his car where he needs to go, showing you that he's got comfort and confidence in his approach.
Yeah, well, we could definitely see on that entry there from that angle, he flicked it in, he got hard on the brakes to settle the car down, and then backed off the brakes and then used the angle of the car to slow down and then get on the power to complete the end of the course. That was actually a really good example of an entry on this course. Okay, so a score of 88. Two fat ladies, as they say. Score of 88 there, improving on his score of 80. Putting him fairly high up in the rankings.
Currently second.
Second? Is that second, is it? You're right. That is second place so far. So great score there. Score of 88 for Kazuya Iizuka. He's going to be really happy with that. I'm sure of that. Okay, so moving up into the pointy end of the field now. Kazuya Taguchi, Team Up Garage, S15 Sylvia. Watch this entry. So early on that entry, all the way out, knocking off the upright on his wing there, out to the concrete wall, filling that outer zone. Again, another outer zone here. Hard, big angle there, in clip. Wow, this is a good run here from Taguchi. Yes, that's a run, that's a run. That had everything. Big angle, knocking parts off the car, good clips. He's leaving black marks when no one else is leaving black marks. That was a great run.
So good run here. Another one from Taguchi. Mild approach on initiation, but then he puts it into angle, use a little bit of e-brake there, but he filled the zone perfectly. And you can see right here, front bumper gets knocked off deep into that second outer zone. Solid run here as he gets back on throttle here through outer zone number 3, and then real big angle down the hill to stay on a tight line on that last inside clip. He's sitting on an 85. Will he better that?
I'm sort of willing to bet that he will. I mean, yeah, like you said, the entry, not as great, not as aggressive, but the rest of the course, he set himself up for everything. Now, This is looking good here so far. He's into the outer zone, out towards the wall. You can see the pylon on the wall there, just goes past that outer zone there. Now look at the angle he has here, even just barely kissing that marker there. Huge angle, but still managed to keep his speed and his line too. So a score of 88, improving on his first score of an 85.
Yeah, and that would put, because he has an 85 on his first run, and Iizuka has an 80 on his first run, that would put him in second place to break the tiebreaker.
Awesome. So Kazuya Taguchi moving up into second place from third place with only about 4 cars to go. So looking really good for him today. Okay, next driver now. Masaki Kasahara, S15 Sylvia. He had a 0 in his first run. And I don't think he's going to have a 0 in this run. That was a good angle there. Okay, takes out that marker there. Flicks it hard in the outer zone, feeling that outer zone. This is looking good for his line score right now. Again, good angle, like we just saw there. Good angle going into that towards the end of the course. Maybe not as close to the in-clip as we just saw before there for Taguchi, but still a good run. Definitely not a 0 there.
Well, you can see, and from his vehicle's perspective, not generating as much wheel speed, it seems. The smoke definitely lacking here, but that's not necessarily a judged part of the criterion, but it certainly can add some excitement level here. You can see as he does a pretty good job grabbing some e-brake on the initiation into the first outer zone, just taps that first inside clip, now hits the second outer zone pretty decently. Low angle there through the third outer zone, but now quick through this last section here. He's sitting on a 0. He will not have one after that, but the score that he gets will decide where he plops into the 32 bracket for tomorrow.
That's definitely going to knock down quite a few people. 82! Okay, so I was about to say he's going to knock a few people down a notch. He knocked quite a few down there. Score of 82 there for Masaki Kasahara. As you can see, young guy, very talented. Doing fairly well all season so far in Formula Drift Japan. And doing well here today, even after that 0 on his first run, score of 82. Okay, here we go now. Semi Tanaka didn't put down a run on his first run. I'm not too sure why. I didn't manage to find out why. I'm sure he had some sort of car trouble. Semi Tanaka, local driver. Okay, here we go. S15 Sylvia.
Oh, come on, come on!
No. Okay, he's gonna put something on the board. Nope. Obviously, something.
Dang, that is a total bummer, man.
Yeah.
Dang. That sucks. He is one of the most exciting drivers in this series, and it is unfortunate to see a driver go down by what is clearly looking to be gremlins with the vehicle.
Yes, we can hear it banging and popping there, some sort of ignition trouble.
Man, that is a bummer.
Semi Tanaka, yeah, he's one of the guys that I would want to see drive at this track. He's very skilled at driving tight technical layouts, especially. Also, we can see him pulling in there. He's not looking to. The door flies open.
This has some very interesting parallels to the final event that we had at Irwindale last week, where we saw a lot of drivers battling with vehicle problems, and you have to wonder over the course of a long season how these cars are built. Can they manage to survive the attrition that comes along with, what you were talking about, banging into the walls and having to repair things, having to reskin things, and a long season can certainly put a drain. And for Sami Tanaka, who has been one of the more exciting drivers, currently sitting 4th in points right now, this is a big blow for him.
Yeah, so 0 for him, so we won't be seeing him battle today, tomorrow, unfortunately. That's a shame, but speaking of guys we'd like to see battle, Masashi Akoi, second run, he's currently 82 on his first run. The speed and the angle past 90 degrees on that entry. Hard on the accelerator, the wastegate, turbo, his exhaust screaming, filling that outer zone. Another filling the outer zone, smoking it out. Big angle, watch the in-clip here.
Hello.
And watch him accelerate down the hill. Whoa, Masashi Akoi. If that's not the best run I've seen so far here today, I don't know what I've been watching. Masashi Akoi.
Well, I think it's certainly going to rival the Andrew Gray 91 score. Watch him here, his approach. Very aggressive, big flick, Look at that angle and the
the
rate to
angle.
angle. Now he stays in the zone for the entire time, and he's basically almost at a backward entry. Very few corrections here. He's perfect in outer zone 2, off throttle, then back on throttle for outer zone 3, pushing all the way down, and this is going to be an impressive score, ladies and gentlemen, as Yokoi comes out of the gate and blows minds. Let's take a look at it again.
Are we talking 90s here? Look at this run. Look at this angle right there. That is the biggest angle we've seen so far, all the way, filling the outer zone. He's doing everything right on this run. Man, I want to reach out and give him a high five for this run. That was awesome. Putting the power down, flicking it. The timing on everything is so good too. He even gets the clip there too and goes wide. He's got the full power going down the hill. Damn, Masashi Yokoi killing it here today at Okoibuki. 94, best score we've seen so far. Number 1 qualifier. Masashi Yokoi with only 2 cars to go. Yes. Yes. Yokoi. It's looking good for competition tomorrow. Masashi Yokoi, 94 in that S15 Sylvia. Damn, that's some good stuff right there. Now, speaking of stuff we're going to see tomorrow, next driver, Kazuki Hayashi, like we said before.
Yokoi got one back on him.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, Hayashi got an 87, so
Take that, Hayashi.
Going into the so at the end of the first qualifying, Hayashi was higher ranked than Yokoi. Now Yokoi's ranked higher than Hayashi. Here comes Hayashi's entry. Again, big angle taking. Oh, nice line, nice angle so far. Can he do something to improve his score and bump it up over Yokoi? It's not looking too bad so far. Well, I don't know if it's going to improve it. I mean, we're comparing it to a score of 94 we just saw there, but on its own merit, that was still a great run for Hayashi.
Yeah.
87 on his first run. Will it be an improvement over that?
I think it's just lacking a little bit of the overall impact from Yokoi's. I mean, this is incredible, though, from what we've seen. I mean, that was very similar to Yokoi's initiation and entry. Big rate to angle, very little use of e-brake, just using angle to slow the car down, very confident in his ability. I mean, the line is very, very similar to Yokoi's. Little bit less smoke, but I think overall this is going to be a very competitive run for the top 3. He's already got an 87. Yokoi's got a 94. Where is this going to slot in? Will this be better than his run number 1, be the same? Let's take a look at it one more time.
Okay, so this run compared to Yokoi, maybe not as much angle on the entry, but still, you can see just tagging the marker there with the rear of his car, setting it up, flicking nice and early, getting it nice and deep. You can see the smoke coming out, which means he's on the power nice and early. His timing on everything is really good. He's showing a high level of confidence. Just going right past that clipping marker there down the hill. Of course, smoke is not a judged part of this. It is good to use as an indication of when people are getting on the power and how hard they are on the power. 87, so Hayashi.
Yokoi gets one. How do you say? Let's see. I got you, Hayashi, or something in slang like I got.
One thing you can say in Japanese is like zama miro. It means like in your. It literally means like in your face.
In your face. Okay.
So zama miro, and you sort of hold your hand up.
So he zama miroed.
Yeah.
Hayashi.
Yokoi did. All right. So 87 there. Okay. So final run. Our current second place holder, Andy Gray, wheel spinning all the way up the hill. We're stalling up a little bit there. Not as fast as some of the runs we've seen so far, but still very good. Setting himself up. Okay, on and off the accelerator. Good line so far for Andy Gray. Nice wide line there, setting up himself up for down the hill. So Andy Gray. I mean, again, we have to compare it to the runs we just saw.
I don't think it's going to beat the 94. It may not even better as 91, primarily for this section right here. Remember the rate to angle after initiation from Yokoi. We don't really see that from Andy. He kind of just rolls into it a little bit, and he doesn't fill it all the way. The rest of this run is pretty incredible, though. You can see he's still doing a solid job here. Mid-high line on outer zone number 2. Outer zone 3, pretty tight here as well. Big throttle, lots of smoke. Great job on that last section of the course there. But after Yokoi's run was kind of really, really hard to beat.
It's a shame for Andy because you have to compare it to those runs. But yeah, you can see here, not as fast to angle, not as aggressive to angle like you said. He kind of rolled into the angle. First half of the course, not that great. But from here on, he's set himself up. He's on the power. You can see the tweak the angle around. flick it up, set it up like a rally driver, just tagging that inner clip, great inner clip there. So second half of the course, really, really, really good there for Andy Gray. But will it improve over his 91? Yeah, it may not. But we'll see what the judges have to say about that. So currently first place, 94, Masashi Okoi. So yeah, 87. So not improving on his first run, unfortunately for him. So a 91. So we have a 94 for Yokoi, 91 from his first run, Andy Gray, and currently sitting in third place will be Taguchi with a score of 88.
So those are your 1, 2, and 3 for tomorrow. Qualifying now over. Some exciting runs there towards the end. And we are looking forward to an amazing competition here up in the beautiful hills of Okiabuki here at the Ski and Snowboard Resort. It's been fun doing this with you here today,
Man,
sir.
I've thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. Everything's great. The venue's great. The weather is great. And from the morning until now, the driving's been getting better and better. It's insane. I can't wait to see the battles tomorrow. Can you imagine? All right. So we're just going to head to a commercial break now.
I think that might be closing.
I think that might be it, actually.
Yeah.
So this is Alexi Smith. Hello. This is Alexi Smith. Oh, we had to change our camera angle. This is Ryan Sage. I'm Alexi. We'll be seeing you tomorrow. Check our Formula Drift Japan website. What is it? Formula D JP.
FormulaD.com/live if you're watching in the U.S. and anywhere around the world.
Just search for it. It'll be on the first page, the live. We'll be back tomorrow. Check the times when we're going to be back. We're going to be starting the battles tomorrow morning. It's about 3 in the afternoon here in Japan. Just check your times. You have time to do it. Ask Siri how to translate the times for you. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. I guarantee it. Okay, so we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you then.